Hi there, Trenlo here. This is a video showing some of the features and functionality of the Secrets of Magic product, which has just been released on April the 5th. I'm going to primarily go through creating a summoner character and showing the various ways that you do that and the new functionality that's available as part of the Secrets of Magic product. So for this demonstration, I've just got two products enabled. I've got the Pathfinder core rules and I've got the Secrets of Magic. I need the core rules for things like ancestries and backgrounds because there's actually not. There's a few little backgrounds in the Secrets of Magic, but there's actually no ancestries within there. So just having those two products enabled to create this character. So I'll just come in here. I'll create a test character here, so I'm just going to call him Summoner Test. Now the first thing I want to do is just do a little planning for creation of this character. So looking at the classes, these are all the core classes. You can see there's the Magus and the Summoner down here. So Summoner uses Charisma as their key ability. So that's something we want to concentrate on as we're creating this character. So I'm going to create an ancestry. Just looking at these here, I probably don't want a charisma as an ability flaw, but what I'll do is I'll just go with a gnome summoner. They get charisma as a boost. I mean, I could have used it in the 1-free boost if I was doing another, if I was using a different ancestry, but that's fine for me. So we're going to do a gnome summoner. So I just click add to PC. We have the various heritages available for that summoner, with a couple of versatile heritages available there from the core rules. So we'll just go with Chameleon Gnome, I think there, and we'll just add some dexterity as our free boost. So you can see you've had Charisma, Con, Flora Strength, free boost. It's giving me a bit of information here. I need to add an ancestry feat. And we'll just go with, without looking through all of these, I'll just select one of those, and it's added that there. It's just telling me that there's no automation available with it. We need to just double check what that actually does for us, which basically allows you to pick a lore skill, and you gain proficiency in that. So we could do that, but I'm not going to concentrate on that because I wanted to show you the Secrets of Magic functionality. We add a background. I'm just going to go with Animal Whisperer because that allows us charisma there. And I'll add Constitution to give us a little bit more hit points because we share our hit points with the Eidolon. One thing here, it's saying manually edit background lore skill. So it's just telling us here this is terrain inhabited by an animal you like. I'll just put in forest in there. There may be other little things we may need to do, just double check on some things that may not have been applied, but primarily that's kind of the main things we need to do. And then we need to add our class. So I'm going to scroll down to the summoner here and just click the add to PC. This is now going to give us various summoner types, Eidolon types that we can select. In here, I'm just going to go for a construct Eidolon, and there's two different types in here. I'm going to do the warrior and add that to PC. And what you see here is this has actually created a new character sheet called Summoner Tests PC Eidolon. Summoner Tests Eidolon. It has a slightly different kind of view if you want to compare the two. There's no ancestry or background because that's not appropriate to the Eidolon. It does say it's Eidolon level 1 because it syncs up with your character level. It has these ability scores which were added based off the type of Eidolon. They've been added through there. You can see the hit points are the same as the summoner, and you notice there's not a detail to get to on the Eidolon because it's all based off the summoner. They share the same hit points. So that's synchronized through there. Also, the skills have synchronized through from the summoner itself because the Eidolon shares the same proficiencies as the summoner itself. An example here of, as part of being a summoner, we train in a total of 3 skills. And we can see that when we add training, when we change the proficiency of our skills, that comes through. There is one it's just minor issue at the moment that we're working on. Law skills don't get automatically created, so just create the law skill, and then that will actually be synced through. You only have to do that once. It just gets synced through. So that's pretty much kind of the way the data gets synced through to the summoner. Sorry, to the Eidolon. Notice we don't have the ancestry and the dedication feat buttons available to us for an Eidolon. We just have the general skill and class. The class function just shows the evolution feats available, because those are the ones that can be added to an Eidolon. For the summoner, they could select summoner feats as well, and see some various different feats. So as part of, you don't select any summoner feats at first level. You have to wait until second level for that. Currently not much of the particular Eidolon type is automated beyond the ability scores, so we just need to go through and do that. So we added a construct Eidolon, so we just double check that on the PC abilities. So it's arcane tradition, so we can just double check that on the summoner that has been created, an arcane summoner spell with 5 cantrips and 1 first level spell, so that's been created, that's good. Size of medium, so the construct, we just need to set that for the construct, set them to size of medium. Like I say, this will be automated in a release in future, but just for now we have to do that. Suggested attacks bludgeoning, we'll come back to that. Skills arcana and crafting, they did get added automatically. Senses dark vision, so we just come here and add dark vision. 1 common language, may as well call it common. Speed of 25 feet. Eidolon abilities, initial construct art. These have to be just referenced, and just remember that you have these abilities, but these will be more presented in a more usable fashion in future. Just need to check on a final thing for actual Eidolons. That's some of the information. That's proficiencies, so fortitude and will are expert, reflexes trained, unarmored attacks and unarmored defenses are trained as well. So notice that has changed that the proficiency for the AC, because they're currently not using any armor. A warrior construct also has AC 2, +2 to AC, and a +3 dex cap. So we just put the +2 in there, and we could maybe do the dex cap of 3. In the armor. That's pretty much that character created. Oh no, sorry. There's also the actual base weapon for an Eidolon. So we get a primary attack. For the warrior construct, it recommends. For the construct, it recommends a fist, bludgeoning. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to add a fist from the items list to this character. I'm just going to call it a fist. I'm just going to call it primary. But note that you don't get all of these. You need to select one of those. So I'm just going to have disarm maybe. This Eidolon disarms people. And then for the fist weapon, we just need to make that make sure we have those correct items, and it does a D8 worth of damage. So we just do that, and it's not non-lethal. So yeah, there's just a little bit of kind of messing around here to get your weapon there, but that's done it automatically. Notice it's picked up the proficiency of trained from the unarmed proficiency on the combat tab. So that's ready to go. You know, he can roll his attacks, and he can do damage. So that's pretty much the Eidolon done. What I'll do is I'll come back later on in this video to show you how the links take together, because this PC is now the Eidolon is linked to the summoner, and it synchronizes initiative, it shares damage and things like that, and I'll show you that later. What I'd like to show you now is the spell casting functionality that comes, actually, let's just keep that window open, that it's slightly different to what we're normally used to with other spellcasters. So he has a spell repertoire, so it's similar to a bard and a sorcerer. Sorry, but the main difference is, I just need to open actually the class record. Is that the summoner really has a maximum of 4 spells available to it as it progresses up through its levels. So I'll just go down to where the spells are. And this is the same for the mages. Notice when it gets 4th level, it has 2 for 2nd level, 2 1st level spells. At 5th level, the 1st level spells disappear, and it gets 3rd level. At 7th level, the 2nd level spells disappear, and it gets 4th level. So basically, they only have 4 spell slots above the 5 cantrip levels. And this, so there's the rule set caters for this in a specific way, and I'm just going to go through how that actually works. So to start off with, we'll just check with our, so we have 5 cantrips, 1 1st level spell at 1st level, we're arcane. So we just come over to spells on this side, look at the arcane spell list. You know, we'll just drag a few things across there, a few cantrips across there. And we'll go with good old magic missile. That's all we can have. Sorry, and we can actually have a second spell as well, because we start with. Sorry, I shouldn't have closed that window, should I really? Because whereas we have 1 spell slot at 1st level, we actually know 2 spells in our repertoire. So let's just double check that. At 1st level, you learn 2 1st level spells of your choice. In fact, I'll just drag that down to a slot so I can open it when I need to. So 2 slots will have, I mean, we can only cast 1 of these at the moment, so maybe, I don't know, good old Grease, eh? It's the word. So pretty much that's our 1st level character kind of ready to go. Note as well that we weren't prompted to add any class kits to this summoner. And actually we'll just finish the free boosts. Charisma, Constitution, Wisdom, Dex, why not? Notice that it says cannot find a summoner class kit. Paizo didn't have a class kit included in the Secrets of Magic like they have in other, in the core rules and the Advanced Player's Guide. So at the moment, until Paizo maybe come up with one, you'll have to put a class kit together. Perhaps if you want to use something like a sorcerer, you could just go into the items, go to class kits, and add a sorcerer class kit to your character. You could just do that if you wanted to go with that kind of thing. But anyway, we're looking at these slightly different spell slots for a summoner. So I'm just going to kind of level myself up to level 4, then we'll go to level 5 and see what happens when we lose those 1st level spells. So I can now cast 2 1st level spells, so that's great, that's appeared there. I could also add another 1st level spell at this point. May as well, I'm going to add mage armor. Then I add a level, I go up to level 3, and I have a second level spell, and I can add a second level spell now to that. So, I don't know, we'll go with Acid Arrow, just as an example. And I add another level, we're at level 4, we've got 2 first level, 2 second level, I'll add Enlarge as a spell into there. So now, we've got our 5 spells, we're at 4th level. Now when we go to 5th level, it is going to, ask us for the usual boosts there. But note what it's done is it's gone to 0 for level 1. It says cannot cast at this level. So the way the summoner spells work, they kind of have all of these spells and they can decide what spell slot to actually cast them into. And you also actually have to remove some spells at this point. So it says at 5th level, in addition to you gain 2 third level spells, you lose your lowest level of spell slots. Anytime you lose a level of spell slots, you lose 2 spells in your repertoire as well. These can come from spells you already know or out of the number of new spells. So basically we're getting 2 new third level spells here, and we have to lose 2 more. So I'm thinking maybe we just get rid of Grease and maybe Enlarge, and then would add some third level spells in here. I'm just throwing anything in here really. So essentially you keep to 5 spells, non-cantrip spells, but you can't cast at that level anymore. So what you do is you kind of just move these spells up to a higher level. Sorry, so that's actually copying, not moving. Sorry. So that you have your 5 spells now available to you, depending on which slot you want to cast them in. I mean, actually, in theory, it's pretty much kind of that's what I currently have. I can cast the second levels in the second level slots. I can cast the second and the third levels in the third level slots, and any appropriate heightening would actually be taken on here. And you can see this here where spells have been heightened. There's a little H appears next to it. So if I cast Magic Missile at second level, just having a look at that heightened, it's only every additional 2. So at second level heightened, I don't get additional magic missiles, but firing them at level 3 I would, because that's 2 above the level 1 of the actual spell. So when I roll damage on that for my magic missiles, I could essentially, if I do a 3 action magic missile, I fire 6 magic missiles. So that can be quite handy there, but that does use a level 3 slot. So that's pretty much how the spell repertoire goes. As you level up, the same thing's going to happen when you go to level 7. You see level 2 cannot cast at this level, and you lose those spell slots, and it shifts to level 4. And so you decide which spells you want to keep and which new ones you want to get, and just rearrange as you actually need them. So hopefully that's a good little overview of how you actually have to go through to just keep your spell repertoire correct. So just a couple of minutes going over the combat tracker functionality now available for Eidolons linked to a Summoner PC. So I'll just quickly actually add a couple of portraits to here. Where's Secrets of Magic? There's the Summoner. I don't know what I'll do for the... Let's see what we've got in the Morangi Expanse. We've got an Eidolon, but... sorry, a Construct. I don't know, we'll just select any old thing in here. So yeah, I've just got a Kobold Dragon Mage in the combat tracker here. So when combat starts, the usual thing you'll roll for initiative. Primarily the Summoner and the Eidolon share their initiatives, so they're all 21, and that's synchronized so that the two are actually together there. If you don't want to have sharing of synchronization of initiative, then in the linked PCs, remove the checkbox for sharing of initiative there. So that's like one thing. The additional thing is that they share hit point pools. So when one of them takes damage, it's applied to both of them. So note we currently have 9 wounds. We both have 97 hit points available on these two. The Kobold Dragon Mage is just going to claw one of the creatures, is going to apply 3 damage to the Eidolon itself, and you notice it's applied to both. This would be the same for damage being taken to both of them. Just one of those instances would be applied. The highest of that damage will actually be applied. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully the linking will make it easier for players to use this. Also, the fact that Eidolons have a kind of a smaller PC sheet, based off them being an Eidolon. Down the bottom there, in release 19, this will expand to include companions and familiars as well, to make those a bit easier to manage and maintain. And we will be updating over the coming weeks some of that manual entering of data that we had to go through to create the Eidolon, such as manually adding in these proficiencies and the speed and things like that, and that will be more automated in a later release. But pretty much, this is this is completely playable now. It creates the linked Eidolon, and you can get up and running. As you saw, I created a first level character with a bunch of spells and various things, in a matter of minutes, just by going through the tracker and pressing the various buttons and making the various selections that were actually presented to me. Obviously, selecting things like spells maybe would take a little bit longer, but yeah, it's all pretty much straightforward and quick, and all of the various entries are all updated with the increasing DCs, proficiencies, and the various levels of spells that you can no longer actually cast at. So hopefully that's been a good overview, and you can enjoy using Secrets of Magic. Thanks for watching.